It is such a joy to come together to share and experience all the wonderful wellness offerings over the World Wellness Weekend. And what a gift it is to take some time out for yourself, to do something that you love, or perhaps even to try something new, or simply to pause, to take a few deep breaths, to move the body, clear the mind, and to reset, to simply reset. So today we're going to share a slow flowing practice. So perhaps before we start, if you need to gather any props, so we will take a short relaxation at the end of the class today. So you may wish to have some layers, a warm blanket nearby, perhaps a pillow if you need it, or an eye bag, or even a rolled up towel or blanket to use under your knees or under your hips. So just take a moment to gather what you need, and then let's all meet together on the mat. So let's begin in child pose today. So you can take your big toes together, have the knees wide or knees hip width apart, and then sinking back into the buttocks. To begin with, let's take our arms behind. You can rest your forehead on your mat, or you may wish to stack your fists. So choose your variation, just allowing yourself to settle in. And when you feel comfortable closing down the eyes, I will sit up just so that I know that you can hear me. If you prefer to stay in a seated position, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, closing down the eyes, and just allowing yourself to settle in. Taking a few moments to acknowledge your surroundings. So you may notice sounds around you. Perhaps they're familiar sounds. Maybe there's a sound that's distracting you. Just simply noticing what you can hear. Rather than pushing these sounds away, just sitting with them for a few more breaths. And then ever so gently begin to release each sound one by one, until you finally release all the sounds and come to your breath. It's feeling into the inhalation, the exhalation. As you're beginning to feel into your breath, just noticing any thoughts that may be coming into the mind. And slowly beginning to lengthen and deepen the breath. So let's begin by drawing a nice, slow cleansing breath in through the nose. And letting it all sigh out through the mouth, let it go. And again, a nice, slow, easy breath in through the nose, just beginning to feel the lungs, the chest and the belly expand, and a long sigh out through the mouth, let it go. And again, drawing breath in through the nose, following the path of the breath into the back of the throat, the lungs, belly, and sighing it all out through the mouth, let it go. Just beginning to feel the sensation of breath moving in the body. As you gently become aware of your physical body, just releasing any tension in the face. Unhinge the jaw and soften the tongue. Just feeling the sensation of the shoulders relaxing, softening through the arms all the way down to the fingertips. Sensing the buttocks sinking back in towards the heels, toes soft. Becoming aware of your back body, just allowing the back body to soften with each outward breath. Noticing the breath moving in the belly and allowing the belly to be soft and easy. Heart soft. And if you can imagine breathing in through the front of the heart and out through the back of the heart. Again, a nice deep breath into the front of the heart and out through the back of the heart. Nice deep breath in, filling those lungs with fresh air into the front of the heart, letting it all go out through the back of the heart as you feel your back body expand, your front body melt towards the mat. Just feeling into the sensation of breath as it moves in and out of the body. And then taking one more slow deep breath in through the nose. And a long releasing breath out through the mouth, let it go. And keeping the eyes closed, you might like to bring your arms forward and just extending out through the fingertips. So sensing those buttocks still moving back towards the heels, heart melting towards the mat, but extending through those fingertips. You may even like to go a little further by coming onto the fingertips, just creating a bit more of a stretch through the back body, letting the head be long or the neck be long. Deep breaths. On the next inhalation, just walking the fingertips a little further forward. And then as you exhale, let's walk those fingertips over to the right. So you're taking a little side bend there, sinking into both buttocks. Deep breaths. Inhale, let's bring those fingertips to center. And then as you exhale, gently walking over to the left. Inhale, center, and then gently walking out through the fingertips and drawing the fingertips back to the body as you slowly, slowly unwind. Just giving those shoulders a nice roll, drawing those knees together and just staying on the knees, or you can come into cross-legged position. Let us guide our hands to our heart, connecting to the heart space. And on the next inhalation, reaching up tall. As you exhale, let's just take a side bend over to the right. So feeling that lovely stretch in the side ribs, breathing into that space. Inhale, bringing it to center, and exhale, let's take it over to the other side. So again, really finding some space in those side ribs. Inhale, reaching up tall. This time as you exhale, let's take a little twist to your right. So taking the hand to the knee, inhale, find some length, and exhale, gently move into that twist. Inhale, center, reaching up tall. And exhale, let's take the twist to the other side. So finding length as you inhale, twisting as you exhale. And gently coming back to center, reaching up toward the arms. And as you exhale, let's take the hands behind this time. Just gently squeezing those shoulder blades together, lifting out of the heart, the chest. And if you wish, you can open up through the throat or keep that neck and head neutral. Choose your variation. Deep breaths into the front body. And exhale, releasing chin first and then releasing the hands to the knees. Taking a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, let's just take a little look over to the right. So keeping the gaze nice and neutral, taking the neck as far as is comfortable for you. Just feeling into that gentle stretch. Inhale, let's guide that head back to centre, gaze is soft. And as you exhale, gently turn the head to the left. Again, just finding your comfortable position here. Inhale, let's guide it back to centre. We'll do that one more time on each side. Exhale as you turn. Inhale, centre. And exhale, other side. Inhale, centre. And this time as you exhale, let's roll our chin down towards the chest, gently close down the eyes and let the head be really heavy. Interlace your fingers and gently take the hands behind the head. Let the elbows spread, just lending a little weight to that head. Deep breaths. And then on the next inhalation, leaving the hands where they are, just open up, lifting the chin and gently sending the elbows away from you, feeling into that beautiful stretch. Deep breaths. And then as you exhale next, just let those fingertips trickle down to the shoulders. Draw the elbows together, inhale, reach it up, and exhale, push away. So nice, easy rotations into those shoulders. And let's take that the other way. Just feeling into any tightness in those shoulders. Last one. And release the hands, give them a good shake, shaking off anything you don't want to hold on to and letting it go. Beautiful, so let's come to our all fours. So we want to make sure that our knees are nicely stacked under our hips, wrists under shoulders, but you may like to release down onto the forearms. Just taking the gaze directly to the mat. Let's take a breath here as you exhale. Round the back, draw the navel to spine, chin to chest. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, open the heart, open the throat. Exhale, round and stretch. And inhale, open. So flow with your breath, your body. And let's go with one more round. And eventually coming back to a nice flat back. Take your gaze directly to the mat. Let's take a breath here and let's raise your right arm up towards the ceiling. So you're just opening up through that right chest, that right shoulder, and taking it where you will. If that's too strong, rest it on your lower back. Deep breaths. As you exhale, this time let's tuck the hand underneath. Come to rest on your right cheek and drop down onto your left forearm. Right palm to ceiling. Deep breaths. Now you're most welcome to stay there, otherwise take a breath, press into the left hand and open up again on the right side. Big breath. And let's flow. Exhale, tucking that hand underneath the body. Inhale as you peel open. And exhale as you tuck underneath. let's go with one more. And this time when you open up, take a big breath, reach up tall, and then send that arm forward so it's straight ahead. And then let's take some big rotations in that arm and shoulder. So just feeling into the body. And then next time that hand comes back, just rest it on your lower back. Inhale, rise up and lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. So it's coming straight up. You can tuck the toes if you wish. Activate through your thigh muscles, your belly. And then let's just lean back a little bit. So a little bit of a back bend, just being mindful to listen to your body. Nice deep breaths. If you wish, you can open up through the throat, otherwise keeping that head neutral. Deep breaths, gently pressing the thighs away from you. And one more breath. As you exhale, float that left hand back to mat, right hand back to mat, untuck the toes, coming back to all fours. Just find your alignment once more. Gazing directly to the mat, let's take a breath and raise our left arm up towards the ceiling. So really breathe into that left shoulder, that left chest. And as you exhale, let's tuck that hand underneath so you come to rest on left cheek. You can drop your right forearm to the floor, left palm to ceiling. Deep breaths. You're most welcome to stay there, otherwise pressing into the right hand. Gently peel open up on the left arm, up towards sky or ceiling. And let's flow. Exhale as you tuck underneath. And inhale as you open. So flowing at your own pace here. Moving with the breath. And then next time that arm comes up, just having a nice stretch here. And then sending it forward. And then taking some nice rotations. So really listening to your body here. And then next time that arm comes back, resting the left hand on the lower back. Reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. Tucking the toes if you wish. And then engaging through the quads, through the core, and gently take it back. Only if that's good for you. Otherwise, stay at center or rest in child. Chest is open. If you wish, you can open up through the throat. Deep breaths. And then gently coming forward, right hand comes to mat, left hand comes to mat. Untuck those toes. Just taking a moment here, keeping the hips stacked over the knees. We're just going to walk our arms forward and release the head between the arms. So we're hovering our torso from the mat. Let's send those sit bones up towards the ceiling or sky. Lengthening out through the crown of the head, melting the heart towards the mat, but pressing evenly into the hands. If that's too strong, rest on the forearms. So really activating through the arms, breathing into that back body. So again, if you can imagine breathing in through the front of the heart and out through the back of the heart. Finding space. Each breath is a releasing breath. Really allowing yourself to breathe deeply here. Finding all those tight spots, that resistance, and breathing into it. And one more breath. And then gently releasing that, Sinking back into the buttocks, coming back into child, knees wide if you wish. Just allowing yourself to rest, arms forward or arms behind or fists stacked. Taking some nice easy breaths here. And just allowing your whole body to soften here. So this might be the first chance you've had to stop to actually rest. So just notice as soon as you stop and you're still and quiet, does the mind become active? Do you find yourself drawn into your thoughts, your stories? Just simply noticing where you're at. Maybe just acknowledging how you feel right now. Just being with these sensations, these feelings. And coming to your breath again and again. Perhaps just checking in with the physical body. So if you're carrying any injuries or any discomfort, being mindful to honour your body throughout your practice. If something doesn't feel right for you, come out of the pose. If you need to rest, push back into the child's pose. It's taking the time to reset. So letting everything go. Just allowing yourself to be fully present. Taking one more slow deep breath in and a long breath out, let it go. And then slowly, slowly, slowly unpeeling yourself from your mat and coming back to your knees. So we're going to be on our knees for a little bit, so if you do need an extra padding, just popping a folded blanket under those knees. Otherwise, just coming up onto the knees, and let's extend your right leg out to the side. So nicely aligned from the hip, taking the right arm up towards the ceiling. So nice open chest here, open heart, taking some deep breaths. Let's take a breath and just sweep that arm forward. Turn the palm up and the buttocks back and just work in a nice circular motion. So just sending those hips and buttock back and then reaching up and coming up. Nice flowing sensation. And then eventually coming up and then all the way over, extending out from that outer edge of the back foot all the way through the fingertips. Deep breath, so finding some space in the side ribs. And inhale, let's draw that to center. As we exhale, let's just bring it over to the other side. So feeling the stretch in the opposite rib cage. Deep breaths. And let's flow. Inhale, center, exhale, up and over. Inhale, center, and exhale. So flowing with your breath, your body. And one more, eventually coming to the full side extension. Having a stretch here and then releasing the hand to the hip. So we're going to come into a side plank from here. So this might be your version of the side plank. You might like to pivot that underneath foot, come into low plank or slide that underneath foot. Stacking the feet coming into full plank, just making sure you're lifting out of that top hip, you're not sinking back, or bring that top foot forward and create a tripod. So choose your variation. Wherever you're at, just making sure you've got some lovely alignment with the wrist under the shoulders, activating, breathing, finding balance, all good. Deep breaths. One more breath. And then let's just gently release that, drop to your knees, just have a push back in child, just stretch out. And then slowly, slowly coming up again. So let's just rearrange ourselves on the other side. So coming back to the center of your mat, on your knees, And then let's extend that left leg out. So again, making sure you've got some lovely alignment out of that hip. And then when you're ready, extending that left arm up towards the ceiling. You can gaze up to the hand or keep the neck neutral. Just finding that lovely space in the heart, the chest. And let's take a breath here. Sweep that top arm up and over, and then send those hips and buttocks back, palm up, and just work in a nice circular motion. So you may wish to follow your hand with the gaze. And let's go with one more, and eventually sending that arm up and over and having a full stretch from the outer edge of that foot all the way through the fingertips. So you're really finding that space in the rib cage. Breathe into it. And then gently releasing that hand to the hip. Inhale, let's take the opposite hand up and over. Have a nice stretch here. And let's flow. Inhale, center, exhale, up and over. Inhale, center, and exhale, other side. So flow with your breath. Just move intuitively. And eventually let's arrive back at the full side extension. Have a good stretch here. And then releasing the hand to the hip and just coming up for a side plank. So you might be here. Maybe you'd like to pivot that underneath foot and come into the supported side plank, or slide that foot to meet the other foot, stack the feet, come into a full plank. Again, making sure you're not dropping into that bottom hip, you're lifted, activated, or take that top foot forward for the tripod. So choose your variation wherever you're at. Nice deep breath. So long as you've got that sensation of open heart, that front body is expanded. Deep breaths. And eventually let's release that top hand, come to the knees and push it back into child. So close down the eyes here and just let it go. Nice, deep conscious breaths. Perhaps imagine breathing into the kidneys, so softening through that lower back, that kidney area. And then when you're ready, coming back to all fours. Tuck the toes and exhale, keep the knees nicely bent and come into a soft downward facing dog pose. So generous bend in those knees, almost as though your chest is touching your thighs. And then let's just begin to pedal out through the feet. Feels good. And then sinking into the heels. Let's just take a nice toe stretch here. And then sink back into those heels. We won't stay here for too long. So your heels may be nowhere near the mat. You might need a little bend in those knees. But so long as you've got the sensation of weight coming back into those heels, belly engaged, neck is long. So move the head, ears away from the shoulders. Activate through the arms if you need to. Come down onto dolphin and release that pressure in the wrists. From here, we're just going to take a breath, come high onto the toes and over into the plank. You can take your knees to mat if you wish. As you exhale, let's use our body weight as resistance and come down slowly, Chaturanga. So coming onto the belly, unhook the feet, come onto the forearms, forward to mat. Take a rest here. And then gently pressing into your hands, let's open up the chest, the heart and the throat. So you're resting on the forearms. Deep breaths. And then gently releasing your chin to your mat. Rearrange your hands to beside your chest so your elbows are hugging your side ribs. Peel your chest from your mat, draw the shoulder blades together, come to all fours, tuck your toes, exhale, down dog. And again, you can have a nice bend in those knees. Just coming to stillness here. So let's flow. Inhale, come high onto the toes, over into plank, bottoms low. Exhale, drop your knees, your chest and your chin to mat. Unhook your feet. Inhale, you can take low cobra, cobra or an up dog. Choose your variation, heart open. Exhale, drop your knees, your chest and your chin to your mat. Inhale, come to all fours, tuck your toes. Exhale, down dog. Breathe. Inhale, high onto the toes, over into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to mat. Unhook the feet. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to mat. Inhale, all fours, tuck your toes. Exhale, down dog. Breathe. And let's take a breath here. Let's raise your right leg up towards the ceiling. So just having a nice stretch here. Let's release the heel to the buttock and then open up through that hip. So sink into that left heel, maintain the integrity in the arms and just open up through the hip. Deep breaths. Inhale, let's draw that knee back to center. Draw the knee underneath the body. So right knee meets right wrist. Unhook the foot. And then gently come up onto the fingertips. But before we do that, let's just check the alignment in that extended leg. And then making sure you can feel the stretch through the buttock and the hip there. So make the adjustments. Then coming onto the fingertips. As you inhale, open up your heart, your chest, your throat. Take a deep breath. And on the exhalation, release your front body to the mat. So you may wish to extend your fingertips forward on mat. Maybe stack the fists. Maybe elbows as wide as the mat, hand on hand. And release your head to your hands. I invite you to close down the eyes here and really let it go. So just notice the sensation of breath pulsating through the body, blood moving through the body, energy moving through the body. And just gradually let that breath soften. And just exploring where you may be holding resistance, tightness. And with each outward breath, seeing if you can begin to soften into those tight spots. If the mind is meandering, come back to your breath. And then gently, 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 just lifting your head and chest and just gently opening up that torso, taking a nice breath here. Engaging palms to mat. And if you wish, you can lift your back foot so your heel comes towards your buttocks. That's where you might like to stay. Otherwise, you can take the hand to meet the foot and create a nice stretch here. Gently pressing that foot into the hand to create that stretch so that you're opening up through the shoulder, the chest. Deep breath. You can take the gaze behind or just keep it neutral. Listening to your body wherever you're at. Deep breaths. And then gently releasing that foot from the hand. Tuck the back toe. Lift the knee and then come back into a three-legged dog. But this time point the toe sinking into that left heel. And then returning foot to mat. Let's bring the big toes together and pedal through the feet. And then sinking back into the heels. Let's take a breath here and raise your right leg up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. Sink into that right heel. Then release the left heel to the buttock and peel that hip open. Again, finding strength in the arms. Deep breaths. And then gently drawing that knee underneath the body so that the left knee meets the left wrist. And then make the adjustments. So just maybe take a look at that right leg. Make sure it's nicely aligned from the hip. Find that stretch in the front foot so that you feel that stretch in the buttock and hip. And then when you're ready, coming onto the fingertips if you wish, or onto the palms, and open up the chest, the throat, the heart. Take a deep breath here. So find that lovely opening first. And then you can begin to settle in. So whether that's arms extended forward, fists stacked, or hand on hand, forehead on hands. And again, you may wish to close the eyes here. Let that breath settle. Just beginning that journey of travelling inwards. So being with the breath, scanning the body for those tight spots, that resistance, and seeing if you can begin to release it on the outward breath. And taking one more deep breath in and a long breath out. And then slowly, 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 just beginning to raise the chest from the mat. And then if you wish, you can take the heel to the buttock, take the arm behind to find that foot and gently create that stretch there, gently pressing that foot into the hand. And again, you can take the gaze behind or keep it forward. Just feeling into that beautiful stretch. Deep breaths. And gently releasing foot and hand, tucking that back toe, lifting the back knee, and then gently coming to the palms, sending that left foot up towards the ceiling. Point the toe this time, sink into that right heel, and have a lovely stretch here in three-legged dog. And then returning foot to mat, pedal through the feet. Let's drop to our knees and push it back into child once more. Taking a few releasing breaths here. So really letting that breath go. Again, awareness in the kidney area. It's releasing through that lower back. And then when you feel ready, just slowly, slowly, slowly coming up. Beautiful. So let's make our way onto our backs. And we'll just take a bridge pose. So laying on your back, feeling that connection of your whole back connected to the mat. And then taking the feet quite wide, toes slightly pointing inwards, arms along beside the body, palms facing down. And let's all just lift our head off the mat. And then gently place it back down again, so we've got some lovely length in the back of the neck. And then gently, with the awareness at the feet, pressing into all four corners of the feet, begin to lift your hips from your mat. Thighs reaching up towards the ceiling, chest open, chin tucked in. Gently pressing through the feet as you raise the hips for that back bend. If you need a little more, you can interlace the fingers underneath the body, shimmy onto those shoulders a little further, drawing the shoulder blades together, and then reconnect those hands to the mat, sending those chest up towards the ceiling. Imagine your lungs filled with helium, really pressing that front body up towards the heavens. Feet grounded into the earth. Chest is open and light. Deep breaths. Just being mindful to not let those knees track in towards each other. Deep conscious breaths. Let's take one more deep breath in. And a releasing breath out. And as you do so, let the hands go. Just gently spread those shoulder blades and slowly return your spine to mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your whole back reconnects to the mat. Just feel the heaviness of the back returning to the mat. And then draw the knees together, just placing the top of the hands on the knees, and let's just make some nice circles with the knees to massage out that lower back. And taking it the other way. And then bringing those knees back to centre, keeping them hugged in. Heels quite close to the bottom. Let's spread our arms out to shoulder height, palms facing down, and just feel those shoulders release. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, let's let both knees just gently fall over to the right. So let them land where they will. And if you wish, you can take your head towards your left hand, gently drawing those shoulders back down towards the earth. Taking some deep breaths here in this spinal twist. And on the inhalation, let's draw those knees to centre. And as you exhale, gently let those knees move over to the right, or left rather, landing where they will, turning your gaze towards the opposite hand if you wish. Deep breaths. And on the inhalation, coming back to centre, drawing the knees towards the chest, wrapping your arms around your knees. And just give yourself a really warm embrace here. Maybe shifting from hip to hip, doing whatever you need. We're going to move into our relaxation, so moving the body as you need to, maybe taking hold of the shins or the back of the thighs, taking a spinal roll if you wish, rolling out the spine. Just doing whatever feels good. So we'll move quietly into our relaxation. So again, if you would like to avail yourself to any layers, a blanket, pillows, a rolled towel under your knees if you've got any issues with the lower back or tightness through the hamstrings. And then laying back, legs long, or keeping a bend in those knees. Or if you prefer to sit up, please do. Just do whatever works best for you. I will move out a screenshot. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll stay here, but I will sit up. So, just taking the time to settle into your mat. Once you feel ready, just gently closing down the eyes, just sensing those heels shifting away from the hips, encouraging those hips to softly open. You may wish to have the hands on the heart and belly, or long beside the body, palms facing up. Encouraging those lungs to expand. Relax the eyebrow centre, unhinge the jaw. Beginning the process of letting go. So visualise your body moulded into the earth, resting in fertile soil. Your bones heavy, your body heavy. Slowly releasing all the heaviness of the past 18 months. Shedding the layers and letting it seep deep into the earth. Softening through the toes, feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees and thighs. Buttocks, soft, hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, your whole back supported by the earth. Visualise shoulders free from tension, biceps, triceps, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands and fingers, soft and easy. Back of the head, crown of the head, forehead, temples, eyes heavy, sinking deeply into the back of the head, nose, cheeks, ears, lips and mouth, face soft and easy. Throat centre, collarbones, chest, ribcage and belly. Sensing the rise and fall of the belly with each breath. Now visualise all the nutrients and goodness from Mother Earth nourishing your body, absorbing into every cell, muscle and fibre of your being. This fertile soil, a bed for new possibilities to sprout. You are blossoming, ripening, clearing space for renewal. Surrender to the breath and invite in new growth, a fresh start to begin again. using my voice as an anchor to slowly guide you back. It's beginning to notice the sounds around you to bring you back into the room. Slowly lengthening and deepening the breath. You may wish to bring some gentle movement into your fingers, into your toes. And shifting that subtle energy around the body. You might like to take a long stretch or a nice yawn, whatever you need. But if you would prefer to stay where you are and rest a little bit longer, please do. But if you need to come back, follow my voice and come back with me now. And when you feel ready, just gently rolling over to the side and giving yourself the gift of a few more resting breaths. So perhaps just noticing how you feel after your practice. Maybe you've been able to release something that was holding you back. Maybe there's a sense of new possibilities, new ideas that came up during your practice. Maybe it was just simply being able to take that time out for yourself again and just be present to release whatever's happening in your day-to-day world and practice some loving kindness towards yourself, whatever it was for you, whatever wellness means to you. And that could be just simply pausing, it could be fresh air and exercise, eating healthy food, staying connected with family and friends. It's visualising what wellness means to you. And hopefully you can carry some of the goodness from your practice with you when you move back out into your world. For as long as you can, hold on to it. When you are ready, coming back into a comfortable seated position. Welcome back, everyone. Guide your hands to your heart. Gently bowing the head, closing the eyes. Namaste.